One of the most annoying aspects of English is its spelling. For every rule explaining how a letter is pronounced in a given situation, it often seems like there is a huge number of exceptions reminding you how the rule doesn't always apply. Letters exist in words despite not playing any discernible role in the word's pronunciation. This can drive you crazy, whether you are a teacher or a student. Now, let's start with the letter A. The A in bread, as well as in tread, does nothing. You might as well spell it bread, B-R-E-D, except that then it looks too much like the past tense of breed. So don't do that. A is useless also in aisle and aesthetic. Now moving to the letter B. Most silent B's come at the ends of words and just after M. Bomb, climb, come, crumb, dumb, lamb, numb, plum, thumb, tomb. Just when one starts to feel comfortable with the relative regularity of these, that and subtle show up like a couple of toughs. Now let's move to the letter D. D is shrinking its auditory duties in handkerchief and mostly doing the same in handsome. Its appearance in Wednesday can only be seen as some kind of a cruel joke. Now let's move to the letter E. The word sleeve has an excessive number of E's. We are saying it right now. Sleeve or sleeve would work fine, but English does not like to leave V's on the ends of words. It prompts them up with E's, as though they'd fall over. That V habit explains then words like leave and give, but there is no excuse in words like imagine. Now let's move to the letter F. While some people do in fact pronounce the second F in fifth, the first pronunciation that you'll find in many famous dictionaries omits that letter. Overall, however, the letter F is pronounced in most words, which gives it an A. Let's move now to the letter G. G has no business in being in sign nor phlegm. Well, it doesn't seem to care. Now, this attitude is very evident in the slew of GN words: gnarl and gnash and gnat and gnaw and gnostic and gnu. And it comes as no surprise also that it participates in such offenses as high and though and through. Now let's move to the letter H. The H's at the beginning of honest and honor have nothing to say. Neither do the ones in rhyme and ghost. Now let's move to the letter I. The letter I doesn't do a blessed thing in the word business, except to be impersonated by the letter U in the first syllable. It also does no discernible good in the word suit, which in a decent orthographic system would be spelled suit. Now let's move to the letter J. Some of you may be happy to know that we have at this point only one English word in which the letter J is silent. Now I'm not going to pronounce this word. Hey Google, how do you say M-A-R-I-J-U-A-N-A?
That's pronounced marijuana.
Now let's move to the letter K. The silent K in a slew of common words demonstrates a callousness for beginner spellers, especially words like knee and knife and night and knit and knob and knock and knot and know and knuckle. Let's now move to the letter L. The most indecent of the silent L words is surely colonel. The word sounds identical to colonel, which is an honorable, respectfully spelled word. L is also silent in could and should and would, as well as in calf and half and chalk and talk and walk, and for many people also in calm and palm and some. Now let's move to the letter M. One can get through much of life without never encountering M in its silent form. By the time a person is ready for a word like mnemonic, they have likely come to accept the indecencies of silent letters in English. Now let's move to the letter N. Like silent B's, silent N's tend to come at the ends of words and after M. Arm, column, them, him, limb, solemn. So now you realize that M is everybody's friend. Now let's move to the letter O. There is a flagrant excess of letters in the words enough, rough, and tough, where O is among several who have no place being there. Then there is the formerly mentioned ruffian, colonel, in which neither O behaves properly, and the second O doesn't even bother to try. But in addition to those, we also have jeopardy, leopard, and people. I'll let you draw your own conclusions about the letter O. Moving now to the letter P. P is silent before a selection of somewhat technical terms such as pneumonia and pneumatic, and it's silent before S in a different selection of words such as psalm, psyche, and psychology. It boldly says nothing in core and coup and receipt. In some pronunciations of controller, somehow it convinces M to join in dissembling. The two there impersonate N. Now let's go to the letter Q. Q tends to function wholly overboard as an upstanding and upright member of the alphabet. Most of us are fortunate to encounter its dereliction in lacquer only occasionally. Let's go now to the letter R. R exists in the word foxhole only to make fun of us. It exists in February only to make us suffer. Let's go now to the letter S. S is mostly a reliable letter. Its failings are limited largely to isle, apropos, debris, isle, and island. We cannot overlook its participation in the hot mess that is bourgeois. Let's now move to the letter T. T refuses to be audible in ballet, castle, listen, and whistle. In asthma, it conspires with H to shun its usual duties. Now let's move to the letter U. U may appear reasonable, but evidence to the contrary is not difficult to find. Build, catalog, dialogue, colleague, guard, guess, laugh, league, tongue. Note that the second and third of these words have attempted eviction and are meeting with significant success. Catalog and dialogue are both fully accepted variant spellings. Now let's move to the letter V. V is at this point the only letter that refuses to be unheard in any established word of the language. And yet, the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, decided otherwise. In late May 2017, on Twitter, he tweeted the following now famous sentence. Despite the constant negative press covfefe, this word was obviously a typo and misspelling. The internet seized on the enigmatic word and discussed it extensively. Of the myriad pronunciations suggested for this non-word, several of the strongest contenders had the silent V, and so we have covfefe. Thank you, Donald Trump. Now let's move to the letter W. W yields all power to the R that follows it in rack, wraith, wrangle, rap, wreath, wren, wrench, wrestle, wrinkle, wrist, writ, right, wrong, and rot. As if that lot were not enough, W with no apparent logic whatsoever sits idly silent in answer, sword, to, and who. Let's go to the letter X. We will admit to some small appreciation of X's discretion in its orthographic indiscretion. Its silence seems perhaps calculated in faux and faux pas. Let's move now to the letter Y. We cannot blame the letter Y for its gratuitous presence in beyond. The letter may in fact believe itself to be essential in the word. It cannot be ignored, however, that the word would reasonably have its same pronunciation if it were spelled beyond, beyond, or beyond. And so we finally come to the letter Z. There will surely be attempts to blame the French, and yet the following have been fully established words of the English language for centuries now. Chez, laissez-faire, and rendezvous. Use Z, That's it, friends. That's my A to the Z. Much of what I've said in this video is taken from an article on the Merriam-Webster Dictionary website, so please check it out. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. This is Burahla here. That's Bourhla. The H is silent. Peace.